transmuting your anxiety, stepping into your own power, staying centered, staying grounded. These things are really important. And there's many, many ways to get there. But there's ways that have been proven to work time and time again. Here at the channel, I'm very focused on teachings that have transcended, really, time and space. Teachings that have proven to the human family to work for thousands of years, not just 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And the book today that I'm going to recommend for you is all about an ancient practice. It's all about meditation. Meditation is an amazing practice. It's one that's become very, very popular the past 10 to 15 years. But there's a huge misunderstanding about it. There's a huge stigma that needs to be addressed. And there needs to be a clarity that's built around it, especially if you're interested, if you started a practice, because it's a beautiful thing, but just like anything, without a strong foundation, it will collapse. You're going to be given many thresholds, many challenges. And that's why we're here, to help overcome that. So today in the video, I'm going to give you this amazing book recommendation. I'm going to share with you a metaphor that's super important. You might hear a few of the chickens. I don't know. And I'm also going to share with you some struggles that I've had with meditation, how I've overcome them, and really the main thing is, how can you move beyond your suffering? How can you move beyond your pain? And how can you step in to your true essence? So if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the channel. You want to become the best version of yourself. You want to chisel away all the impurities. Well, One Thought Growth is going to help you do that. So please like and subscribe. It's a huge help. What I love about this book is that it blends the ancient teachings of Buddhism and Western science. So as I mentioned, it's much more contemporary than the previous two book recommendations, but it's just as powerful, it's just as potent. And the book is The Mind Illuminated by John Yates, who goes by a nickname of Kuladasa. And I have no idea what that means. But nonetheless, this book is extraordinary because it gives you a path. It gives you a foundation for you to build or continue your meditative practice upon. And I find it to be very important to understand Buddhism, the principles of Buddhism, because what the Buddha did for us is he showed us, he taught us why it is that we suffer, why it is that we feel pain, why it is that we feel anxiety, the root of suffering. And then what he did was he showed us a way to move beyond it. And the way requires discipline. It requires work. It requires focus, attention. But the rewards are great. The rewards are peace, fulfillment, a sense of purpose, a sense of something greater than yourself. Now, we must remember that what the Buddhism calls the middle way is not the only way. It's a way. It's a path. There's a million ways to nirvana. But the Buddha showed us one way that has been proven to work for thousands of years. But I want to share something else about Buddhism. We often hear the Buddha, but we don't really know that he taught us that we are all the Buddha. It's within all of us, the essence. Because the Buddha is simply reaching a level of consciousness, a level of understanding, a level of awareness, a level of purity. And what he taught was that it's within you, it's within me, it's within every single being. But it just takes work and discipline to get there. And the way in which one can move towards that, even if their ultimate goal is not enlightenment, even if their ultimate goal, as was mine, is peace of mind, grounding through very difficult times, to stay centered, to stay focused, to be able to pay attention, to not have what they call the monkey mind, where your mind is just racing constantly. So you're moving from gadget to gadget, from flick to flick, from screen to screen. I think deep inside you don't want that. I think deep inside you know there's something more. And maybe you're working towards it, or maybe you want to start. Well, this book, The Mind Illuminated, is going to help you with that, because it builds you a foundation. It teaches you how to start, how to begin, the stages, the obstacles, that which is going to be challenging. And it brings into a metaphor that I was thinking about. And that metaphor, I believe, is universal to each human being. And that is, our minds are like a cup. And we live in the information age. And information is like water. And we sit there every day with our cup, and there's just unfathomable amounts of information being poured. And our minds are just everywhere. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, I don't watch TV anymore. I've stopped watching TV for many, many years. But the Buffalo Bills made it to the AFC Championship. So I decided to watch the game. And I was watching the commercials. And there was like this cleaning commercial, like Tide or something. And the amount of flickering in that commercial alone, after I watched the commercial, I was so just like, what is going on? And I began to watch the commercials, and I began to really hone in. And they are just flickering. They're moving. Your eyes are like... It's not good for our attention. It's not good for our minds. And it's certainly not good with our hearts, because it disconnects our mind and our heart. Now, with that said, you have free will. You can do whatever you want. But if our cups are never emptied, if we never take a chance or take a moment to empty the cup, to find some silence, well, it's very likely that we're going to continue to suffer. We're going to continue to feel anxiety, because there's only so much information our being can handle. Now, meditation's a practice that helps you to empty the cup. It's not the only practice. You can go for a walk. You can exercise. There's a million things to do. But again, this practice is the most direct that I know. And it's the most direct that I know that has been taught. I started 7 years ago. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of monkey mind. I loved to learn since I was born, but my learning was scattered because I was constantly taking in more information, and I was never able to assimilate well. So I would receive, but I never took the silence to assimilate. We assimilate in silence. We receive the information, we need a moment to assimilate it, and then it resonates with us, and that's how we gain what we can call experiential knowledge. So this book, again, meditation, is not necessarily about emptying the mind, because that's a stigma again. Is, oh, when you sit down on the ground, you're just trying to empty your mind? No. That's not right. That's a later stage. It takes years of practice to truly empty the mind, to truly have no thought. But the preliminary stages involve focusing your attention, learning how to harness the ability of concentration. Now, if you've read anything about meditation, they'll tell you, follow your breath. And that's very important. It helps a lot. You put your attention on your breath. But what happens when noises come in? What happens when your mind goes crazy? What happens when your back starts hurting? Well, that's why a book like this, a channel like this, is going to help you. Because when that happens, there's things you do. So meditation is not a moment of inactivity. It's actually a very active moment. You're very aware. You have heightened awareness. You're focusing on the breath. You're listening. You're hearing. You're getting in touch with your body. You're feeling the rhythm of your body. When we have anxiety, what happens? Our heart rate picks up. Our heart rate starts to look crazy, doesn't it? I know when I get like all anxiety, I feel anxious, my heart's the first thing that starts going, beating faster. So when you sit, you'll pick up on this more and more. You gain emotional body intelligence that no book can give you. A book can guide you, but you have to sit to learn it more. Or go for your walk. But silence is so key. Now, I've been meditating for over 7 years. I've sat well over 1,300 hours with myself. And it's been a journey. But it's helped me so much. It's helped me find my center. It's helped me discover what it feels like to be grounded. I know the difference now. I know the difference between when I'm just, fettering away and getting lost in stimulation, or when I truly feel grounded. And I want that for you if you want that, because it's there. Remember, the Buddha's within you. Everything you're looking for is within yourself. We have to chisel away the impurities. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes work. You might cry. I've cried many times. And I'll continue to cry. But I promise, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth feeling fulfilled. It's worth feeling whole. And it's the great journey that every single human being has the opportunity to partake on if they wish. Because you have free will. And you can do whatever you choose. And that's what's beautiful about it all. There's not one way to do this. There's a million ways. So with all that said, my name is Zach Pontrello. This is One Thought Growth. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.